Alright, hello people from the internet. Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. The time has come for me to play on stream once again. So here we are about to play some crawl. Um, Maybe I should be inspired by the splash screen and play an Armataur of the Shining One. Maybe I should do that. Yeah, sure. Flash of inspiration. And often I use for the thumbnail the um, the splash art that appears whenever the game is loading, and it doesn't really represent the character, but in this occasion it might. So sure, yeah, that looks like it could be fun. Um, the idea of playing a character based on whatever splash art you get. Some might be tricky because there's some splash arts for gods or enemy uniques and stuff like that, and you cannot really play those, but you can play something similar. You know, the whole point of the Crawl cosplay challenge is to do that. So yeah, flail. It took me a while to figure what I actually wanted, but flail sounds okay. Yeah, let's go. Can you believe that these guys used to start with kite shields? Fighters used to start with kite shields. I think it's kind of wild that it worked like that for such a long time too. Even after whatever other background it was lost its buckler. There was, I think, Gladiator was the one that had the buckler, and then Gladiator stopped having a buckler, and then I'm gonna die to this guy. Do I die? Yeah, I guess I die to this guy. Maybe if I, okay, that I guess could work. Lucky, but shouldn't have really fought that guy. Should I use this Whip of Flaming? Probably not. It's a whip after all, and I have a flail. Okay, the dreaded D2 Adder at experience level 2, but we managed to survive. Gonna get dexterity. Boots, we cannot wear those. Let's hope that I get barding at some point soon, since barding is such an important part of playing an Armataur. Yeah, it's been a while since I've played Armataur too. I think that Armataur is way better than Palentonga used to be. Palentonga was pretty bad. I've been finding some pretty decent items. Oh boy, I'm dying to Natasha really badly. Well, okay. So now if Natasha spawns close to me, I'm dead. Because she's just gonna run straight towards me. I'm gonna try to make it to the stairs. Probably not the safest thing to do, but at least it's all terrain that I have already explored. And since that was too much of a close call, I'm just not gonna fight Natasha anymore. Maybe I'll come back later and clear that level. But not immediately at least. Yeah, I figured since it's been 2 weeks since I've played on stream, I might as well play again. Not that I've played Crawl off stream or anything. It's a priest. Okay, that's a bit too much. Might as well just go down yet again. Okay, yeah, that's extremely bad. Maybe we can get paralysis. If we get paralysis, I might survive. Oh man. Wow, it took the entire wand. It had a 50% chance to work, and it took the entire wand. I don't like this game. I wish this game wasn't like this. Okay, I'm a bit lucky that I managed to survive all of that. Um, I'm searching for magic mapping, but we don't find magic mapping. I guess it's okay. It's not really okay. I'm experience level 4 on D5. It really is not okay. But I might still survive. So it says very distant. No idea what it is. And since I don't have magic mapping, well, there's not really a lot that I can do about it to find it other than just move through the level. Something that is very unsafe, of course. Okay, maybe this is magic mapping. It's blinking. Sure. Not the best way to find out about what the scroll blinking is, but at least I now know about it. If I find another one, it would be pretty useful. Apart from the barding, I'm fully geared out when it comes to armor now. No jewelry, however. It would be nice to find some of that. Yeah, no idea what it is. Ring of Evasion, very convenient. Still says very distant. This is gonna have an altar. Oh, very nearby. Oh, look at that, I found it. I thought that it was gonna be like a temple-like thing, but it being the entrance to the ossuary was a very pleasant surprise. And it's an easy one too, one that is actually feasible for me to clear at this experience level. I do have to say that right after I'm done with this, I would like to go back up because I dove D2 and D3 and D4, right? And now I am on D5. I really, really want to not be so much out of my depth because I feel like it's gonna get me killed or it's gonna force me to use some resources that I would prefer not to use. We found 3 scrolls of blinking from coming here. Man, ossuaries are so broken. You don't really understand the impact of what you're getting when you go into an ossuary because usually those items are unidentified and by the time you identify them you forget that you got them from an ossuary. But now that I have blinking identified, yeah, getting 3 scrolls of blinking from an ossuary is crazy. If I got 3 scrolls of blinking from a treasure trove or something like that, I would be very happy with my haul. So yeah, absolutely worth it. I'm glad that I didn't pass up on the ossuary because I was really thinking about doing that, um, but I ended up not doing it. So now I feel really good when it comes to my character. I have a lot of. Oh man, I dropped the Ring of Ice. It would be nice to have it right about now. It's too far. Maybe I can get to it. Something makes me think that I'm gonna run into some monsters. Or I can just close the door on that thing because it is, after all, a nice beast and it cannot open doors. Yeah. Now my objective is to find another set of upstairs, not hatches, that I can take to go up because I am really interested in doing that. Okay, I think that I can beat you with cold resistance, and I successfully do so. Now I think we can get rid of the Ring of Ice. I was gonna leave it on the floor, but then I thought about it and I was like, what if I find a nice cave next? Hello, Bloodknock. Thank you for stopping by. Have you seen the most recent change to Okawaru? Now Okawaru offers you acquirement for weapons or armor instead of giving you gifts. At 6 pips of piety, I think. Haven't really played with it because I have been barely playing any crawl in the last couple of months. But I did hear about it. I'm not gonna play Okawaru today, but yeah, I just thought it was an interesting thing to mention. Today I'm gonna be going the Shining one because the splash art told me to play the Shining one. So I'm going to do what the splash art told me. Okay. Leaving Natasha for later was the correct thing to do. We killed Natasha without a lot of complications. And now D4 is the one that has the Scorpion and the Ogre, so that's the one that I have to skip. So I'm just gonna go from D3 to D5 and exclude some downstairs on this level. But are these the ones? I don't think those are the ones. Oh no, this is fine. This is fine. I can actually enter the level. I do think that it would be better if I didn't go through here because it's just a massive corridor into the Ogre and the Scorpion. And we don't really want to deal with that. Oh, there's a wizard in front of me. Neon Wanderer home in other news. And the RNG gave you Demon Spawn Fire Elementalist. Tomb Fort Rune. Have I ever done something like that, Tomb Fort Rune? I guess that I did get Demon Spawn third rune one day, right? I don't remember when it was. I think it was with a Demon Spawn that had like the Torment Resistance mutation or something like that. Yeah, don't really remember that character that well, but I do think that I did it once. Definitely not ideal to do something like that if you want to win. So I wouldn't really repeat it. Transparent Brodax. Man, if I can get just a little bit more money, I think that I would be interested in buying that because chances are good that it's like literally a game-changing item. Oh, that's an ogre. Can I beat it? I think that I can beat it with a Potion of Might, and if I'm gonna use a Potion of Might with that, or for that guy, I might as well use it for everyone. Okay, as long as I don't get hit really hard by the ogre, we're cool. And it didn't happen, so I think we should be fine. Yeah, that was a bit sketchy, and I don't know if I would have been able to survive if I had not buffed. So I do think that buffing there was the absolute correct choice. Panentonga rampaging, conspiring to kill me yet again. I felt like that potion of might lasted for a while. But I guess it does help that I ended the previous fight with pretty much full HP. It was pretty convenient. I don't have weakness to fire, do I? Okay, we're fine. Hornet. We don't have any wands, which is pretty bad. I could use even the lowly Wand of Flame to be able to beat this Hornet. This Hornet poses a pretty serious threat. You probably already know, but I don't have poison resistance. I don't have a ton of armor class. And it is much faster than I am, so I guess I re-teleport. It's fine. And yeah, it immediately slowed me with its first attack. I'm so close to the Brodax. I'm gonna explore this part of the level. Hopefully I find a gold pile to buy that Brodax, and then I can move on with my life. What is here? That's actually a pretty good item. I wonder if I should equip this. 16.4. 16.9. That is really, really good. It's probably better than having willpower. And now with my newly acquired armor class, I might actually be able to beat this Hornet. Did you go back up after being shafted? I haven't. But the thing is that I kinda self-shafted a bit, so it's not such a blind shaft. What happened was that on D2 there was Natasha, and my first fight with Natasha almost killed me, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go down. And then D3 had some orcs, so I went down to D4, and then D4 had a scorpion and an ogre at the same time, so I went down to D5. And D5 had an ossuary, which I did explore, got me 3 scrolls of blinking, it was pretty good. And then I started going back up, so I went back up, and then I got shafted. And that's the point where we are at now. Yeah, it's been a funny character. It's been the very beginning, and it's still been kind of funny. Um, yeah, I think I can win this. I have 3 curing, I have 16 armor class, and I also have some poison darts that I can try to use. If I drop below like 30 or so, I'm gonna re-teleport. But yeah, like you can see, the Hornet is not really poisoning me, or rather it just did. Um, okay, now very clearly what I'm doing is not really working. But yeah, nothing that a good old teleport is not going to fix. Alright. I still need a little bit more money so I can buy that axe. I really want to buy that axe as soon as possible because of the thing that I already mentioned. I think that it has a pretty good chance of being a game-changing item. I'm gonna be disappointed if there's no loot at the end of this. Okay, consider me disappointed. What is even the point of this? I think that I should probably just go upstairs and try to get my money from this level. The Hornet is a bit too scary. Almost. Just one more gold pile will do the trick. I just need to find one more gold pile. Okay, there we go. Let's see what we got here. Please be good. It's good enough. Yeah, definitely better than what I have. I should probably carry this. Or maybe, no, I should carry this flail for the purpose of killing Hydras later on. This is the kind of character that can actually tab Hydras with a mace. Fortunately, I do have a little bit of training with maces. That guy has Wonder Roots. That would be pretty useful for dealing with that Hornet. If I survive it, how great. Yeah, I managed to survive it, and I was really surprised when the ossuary had 3 scrolls of blinking. I even said that I would gladly go into a treasure trove that has 3 scrolls of blinking and be happy about it. So to find that in an ossuary early on, it's pretty great. I think that I can open that that vault with the insects. It's not gonna be that much of an issue. Not the bees. You know, I have this very bad habit where if I am using an axe and I am surrounded, I will just continue tabbing, and it's not really the wisest thing to do. I would recommend against doing such a thing. You know, one of the things that I think has been keeping me alive the most that I haven't really mentioned is the fact that I have an amulet of regen. I found it very early into the game. D4. Yeah. Pretty great find, that amulet of regen. Okay, that's a pretty dangerous monster. Does it have a shield as well? I didn't see if it had a shield. It only has a spear of distortion. Psyche has chaos. We can deal with her. Unless we get paralyzed, which fortunately didn't happen. But I have waited to open that bolt of roaches if I was gonna worship a neutral god. Oh, I should have waited because it had a vampire mosquito, and those are undead, and the shining one. Yeah, I guess that I could have done that, but it doesn't really matter. You know what's been happening actually? Should go back up because I very clearly missed the temple. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Play so fast? Yeah, am I really playing fast? I thought that I was playing rather slow actually because not only I haven't played in a while, but I haven't had a good night of sleep in like a week for no good reason. I have no idea why. Um, but I haven't been sleeping very well, so yeah, I do feel it a bit. But I think I'm fine enough to stream. Yeah, that's pretty good. I should put this on. Yeah, it's better when it comes to defenses than what I had. And thank you for the commentary on the insects because that made me remember that I haven't found the temple, and it made me check if I was already beyond the depth at which the temple could spawn, and I was. So temple is not on D4. Let's see if it's on D5. It's not on D5, so it must be on D6, which is weird because it's a level that I have almost completely explored, and it's not here, or like it's not in the part of the level that I've explored. And there it is, hidden at the corner of the level, only one entrance. I kind of hate it when level generation does that kind of thing. The Shining One, there we go. Okay, so Splash Art Palentonga achieved. And now it's round 2 versus this Hornet, which I can easily beat with Wand of Roots. Yeah, Wand of Roots plus darts means that the Hornet gets severely poisoned and dies very quickly. Cool. Good stuff. The second Hornet that I encounter, I just stab and things are okay. No need to waste my charges on it. I don't think I care about any of those. Maybe the nets. Yeah, the nets are actually pretty decent. Oh, you know what happened too? I didn't even think about it, but I think that when I first encountered that Hornet, I didn't have poison resistance. This Brodax gives me poison resistance. Yeah, it was a pretty good buy, that Brodax. Do I beat Maggie? I think I do. I think I do win. Yeah. There we go. You kill Maggie. Joseph has one of the roots. Might be a bit scary, especially after Maggie, but things are fine. We get Swamp Scales, which I don't think they're particularly compelling compared to what I already have, so I'm not going to bother with them. I think that a safer way to deal with Maggie would have been to retreat and wear the plate because the plate has fire resistance. That's my second ring of willpower, and I'm not wearing one, so I'm not gonna bother. The time is not yet right for a ring of willpower. Lady friend of mine is one of the 3 top NetHack speedrunners in the world, so you know she has won the game in the first time. In the time you spend looking at your inventory and scratching your chin. How long is a NetHack speedrun? Yeah, I never really tried. I played a good amount of NetHack, but I never really tried to speedrun NetHack, just as I haven't really tried to speedrun Crawl. Best I've done in that regard is trying to get Speed Demon 3 for the tournament, and I feel like I can very consistently get it with um, some of the strongest combos, or the combos that I am most comfortable playing. But yeah, when it comes to actual speedrunning, I wouldn't really even bother. I should probably stop training Access now and train fighting because I set the stop for Access to 18. Hey, look at that! That's a ton of the Shining One piety. Lucky me. This is gonna get me to like 4 pips of piety, maybe. No, it didn't, but I did jump in and just like started swinging like crazy because I knew that I was not gonna get killed. You know, the power of the Shining One and anime is on my side. Um, Sleep calling, enjoy your sleep. Kinda envy it a bit, not gonna lie. I wish I could just go to sleep like that, but it is a rather difficult process for me. Can I beat you? Very tanky. I'm not going to risk it. Yeah, that guy is a bit too powerful. We got Wand of Paralysis, which is one of my preferred items. Wand of Paralysis and Wand of Roots is actually a pretty good combination of items to get. At the beginning, I was not so into Wand of Roots. I consider it to be just like straight up inferior to Ice Blast. But now I kind of like it. I do think that they're very, very different from one another, like very different items. One could even go as far as to say that they're different enough um, so that they could both spawn in a normal game and they wouldn't really be stepping into the toes of the other. Um, but at the same time, I think that's kind of what the developers want. They want you to have access to different tools in a playthrough. Um, what I'm trying to say is that Ice Blast is a good early game wand that you can use with little skill and just destroy early game monsters without really worrying too much about whether or not you're gonna miss or like having low power. And Wand of Roots is kind of the complete opposite. Wand of Roots is best saved for the late game for specifically Spriggan bands that are highly evasive. So you use Wand of Roots and you get rid of their evasion, and then you can actually hit them. Kind of the same thing that I was doing versus the Hornet earlier. Let's go to lure. Let's see what we get. Harold, what do you have apart from your nets? Nothing really. Okay, didn't net me, so he gets 3 nets from killing Harold. Pretty good. Nets are such a good thing after all. And I'm pretty strong, so I can just stab everything. We don't care about that plus 10 spear. Zombie hands as an evocable, basically. Yeah, pretty much. The thing about zombie hands compared um, to Wand of Roots is that zombie hands is just better. Like it deals more damage and it lasts for longer. I think the targeter is also slightly better for zombie hands. It still cannot miss, so I'd rather hit in a beam rather than an explosion. The explosion part is only interesting for Ice Blast because it means that it cannot miss. Okay, I don't think that I can deal with those dead jacks yet, so I'm just gonna go down. By the time I get out here, I will be able to kill them. Okay. When the second Komodo dragon appeared, that was pretty sketchy. I didn't think that I was gonna be able to survive, especially since it was getting pretty close, but we were able to, fortunately. I have already identified blinking, so I'm just gonna read all of those scrolls. Yeah, let's see what we get here. Sure. So very nice that Uruk had an evening star. I'm not really using maces anymore, but if I do decide to go back to maces, evening star is a great thing to have. I'm kind of dying here. I'm going to read teleports. I think that I might be able to. Yeah, what is this? 2 Sky Shark, 2 Spriggan Druids. Yep, yeah, okay, I have to blink. But I do have 6 blink, so it's perfectly fine to blink. I felt like my line of sight there was kinda small. Oh, you know why I felt it was kinda small? Because of the halo. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that happens when you haven't played in a while. I blinked to the edge of the halo instead of blinking to the edge of line of sight. If you're alone, I think that I can take you on. But only if you're alone. If you have any more support, I don't think so. Okay, yeah. Divide and Conquer really is the name of the game when it comes to crawl. Jeez, why are these guys hitting me so hard? It's almost as if I didn't have 18 armor class. Can I fear you? The answer is no, I cannot fear you. Okay. I feel like it's a kind of ridiculous thing to be asked to fight at this point in the game. These guys are swamp monsters after all. Um, but at the same time, it's kind of my fault because I could have just left, right? Break line of sight? Yeah, that's why I was not so sure about doing that. I think this breaks line of sight better. Teleport. Butterflies. Perfect. That gets the job done. Yeah, the only way that I would have died after doing all of that was getting unlucky and landing in a bad spot. So yeah, I guess that layer 1 has something ridiculous and layer 2 has something ridiculous. I wonder if this will be a repeating pattern throughout this playthrough of the game. Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. Hello, near 1000. Swamp entrance bolts, can those guys spawn there? Probably, actually. Yeah, bolt entrances, or like branch entrance bolts usually have that kind of ridiculous thing. And the magic Laja tank, that's really, really good. Man, should I? Oh, I should ban you, but you're lucky that I cannot ban you in OBS, so you're gonna make me open the thing. The stream manager. I don't really have it on. Hello, sorry for bothering you. Proceeds to bother streamer anyway. Pretty funny. There we go. We can continue now. The boulder beetle makes this kinda sketchy. If I had poison, a scroll of poison, this would be good. Like I could use it here. I'm gonna use fear. That's fine. I feared everything. I could have also teleported away, but I prefer fearing. Hopefully they split away because my main concern there was that I was gonna get put to sleep and then the boulder beetle was just gonna one-shot me. That was the kind of thing that had a very real chance of happening in that situation. It's nice to play this game every now and then, you know? I don't think that I can ever go back to playing on a daily basis, or even in a frequent basis, compared to how I used to back in the day. But yeah, every now and then it's a fine game to play. I've been playing Sekiro off stream. Of course, off stream. I wouldn't play that on stream. It's not the kind of game that I like to play on stream after all. It's a pretty good game. I've been enjoying it a lot. Pretty far into Sekiro. I am at Owl. I have yet to beat Owl. It's a pretty difficult boss, but we're kinda getting there. Yeah. So earlier in the character I said that this character was not gonna have such a hard time tabbing Hydras, and that is precisely what happened. Which game are we talking about with the boss? I am talking about Sekiro. I've been playing Sekiro off stream Um, and I'm at Owl. Very difficult game. Yeah, so far my favorite boss in Sekiro is the Guardian Ape. And I think my least favorite boss in Sekiro is the double ape. So when you fight the Guardian Ape with the second ape, it's a pretty awful boss fight in my opinion. Man, oh, I don't like spraying druids. I feel like it's kind of ridiculous that they can do that through my defenses and HP. Like they actually getting me pretty close to death. Um, let's try Wonder Roots and some Silver Jabs because why not? Okay, that actually worked very well for zero throwing. The monkey bosses are very funny to you. It was indeed the entrance to Swamp. Um, by the way, whoever mentioned it earlier, it was the entrance to Swamp. I think that a specific entrance used to place even scarier monsters. Um, you know that ending, but it has good loot. I was gonna skip it, leave it for later, but it's a classic crossroads of being a crawl player. Do I leave this for later, thinking about the possibility of it giving me like good loot now? And yeah, it's very clearly kind of scary, actually. Just imagine one or two more monsters, or the merfolk actually noticing me and like mesmerizing me there would have been pretty bad. Um, but it didn't happen, so we're cool. Yeah, and even if it had happened, I have teleport scrolls, so it's fine. Is this even the merfolk ending? I'm not sure that it is the merfolk ending. Oh man, yeah. It's only 5-headed. We should be fine. Okay, do we teleport here? I'm gonna play it extra safe, and I'm gonna teleport because I feel like, yeah, that could be really bad. Wand of Digging here would be really useful. Do we teleport again? The answer is yes, we teleport again. And we landed pretty much in the same spot that we started, but devoid of enemies. This is a pretty bad fight. Sky Sharks and Death Yaks are kind of scary, not to mention while you're sloth. But I am strong enough to actually be able to beat them. If you are looking at my character and you're thinking, wow, that character looks like very busted, I want to try it, keep in mind that I have a Ring of Slaying. I would like to attribute most of my success to the really strong loot that I found. I found the Brodax in the shop, of course, and I decided to pivot, which I think was a good idea. And then I found the chainmail that I'm using, which is definitely contributing to my survival. And then I found, well, the Amulet of Regen. Yeah, we have some pretty good stuff. Freezing Brand is so nice when a bunch of enemies are cold-blooded. Yeah, the Sky Sharks get affected by it pretty good. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. I can probably kite these guys for a bit. Oh, maybe I can't because of the way that the game works nowadays. Used to be more possible to kite enemies away. No, I can, I can. Okay, yeah. I don't know what they have been doing with the mechanics so that you don't run away from monsters. I still wish that I could have tried Hot Pursuit for longer, you know? It was only in the game for literally one day. and I didn't really get to try it with a wide variety of characters. I think it was too hasty of a change. Like I would have liked at least a week with that kind of change in the game so I could properly test it. Do I have a Wanda Flame? I don't. I wonder what's up with that. Is this a Wanda Flame? It's not. I have so many charges of paralysis. I should probably start training evocations or something. You think they ended up just giving reaching attacks of opportunity? Oh, I did hear about that. Um, it's funny because I used to really not like polearms users, and then attacks of opportunity were introduced to the game, and then I started really liking polearm users because they were like the one monster that you could consistently run away from because they had polearms, and now that kind of thing is gone. Yeah. I don't think I want this hat or this helmet. Alrighty, so we got some loot, including a file of lots. I think it was worth it to do that, even though there were a couple of situations that made me go through a lot of consumables. I didn't spend any blinkings, which are the ones that I really don't want to spend. Like those are late game consumables, if there's anything like like a late game consumable in this game. Hello, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate the support by watching the stream. Let's go ahead and do orc. Oh, by the way, I got an immersion coffee maker, um, and I just received it today, and I tried it. I think it's okay, but I do think that I need to get different coffee. I got some decaf 7-Eleven coffee, and I don't really like it. Um, I used to drink another kind of coffee that's called Legal. It's actually kind of cheap coffee in Mexico, but it was pretty tasty. I like it a lot. But since it's caffeinated, I don't really feel safe drinking it. I feel like my heart might explode if I drink caffeinated things, you know? Been trying to stay away from that. Hello, Inon. Thank you for stopping by. Is this better than slaying? I actually don't know. It says 36. And if I put this on, it says 35. And it gives me a bit of evasion, I think. Sure, I'll keep it. What if I remove my ring of evasion for the ring of slaying? Yeah, just for a bit, like maximal grit. Um, I will get rid of one of those two offensive rings for willpower at some point soon. That's a pretty good rapier. Imagine if instead of being a rapier, it was like a broadaxe. I would be very happy about that item. Or maybe even a battle axe. I think that I would use it if it was a battle axe and just like not use a shield. Ice Cave on D13. I don't think it is going to be a hard Ice Cave. I think those only appear on D14, D15, and their branches. Um, let's see what we get. I am carrying that Ring of Ice because, as I said earlier, um, I might find a nice cave and I might not have cold resistance. I see that it's full of demons and stuff, so the Shining One's gonna like it that I kill these guys. I think after I reach my target in evocations, I should train invocations as well. After all, I am a Shining One worshipper. Might as well get take advantage of all those invocations that the Shining One can offer you. I don't think I need to pick that up. And this might be acquirement. Oh, it was magic mapping. That's kind of a waste. It's almost never worth it to open those doors. because they're full of really high-level simulacra, but considering how I'm a worshipper of the Shining One, I would say that it is actually worth it to do it this one time. Of course I say that, but at some point I'm sure one of these Dire Elephants is gonna hit me for like 60 in a single attack, and I'm gonna immediately regret opening these. Um, Anaconda Simulacrum. Yeah, these are some scary simulacra. No, it didn't happen, or at least it happened. It hasn't happened. I guess I just hit that hard that it didn't happen. Didn't give them enough time to actually do the thing. Okay, we can beat the Reaper very easily without really doing anything other than tabbing, I think. I would like to believe. Come on. Okay, it really is not working. Look at that, I already failed to damage the Reaper 5 times in a row. Doesn't even have high evasion, about 15% chance to dodge. It's also affected by the halo, so yeah. So my attacks are supposed to be very accurate, and I miss 4 times, and then the 5th time I hit but do no damage. Oof. How are we going to not die to this Reaper? Because at this point, and keeping in mind that I cannot walk away from monsters with pole arms anymore, I think we might breathe teleport. Yeah, we're not gonna die to this guy, but yeah. Very awkward. Sometimes the game is like that. Sometimes you just get bad rolls. This guy doesn't have, like, I guess it's a site of freezing, but I would rather have more offensive power than cold resistance versus this Reaper. And apparently, since it's so evasive, I might also want to use Wonder Roots on it. 45 damage. I guess that I am disrespecting this guy pretty seriously. Yeah, I really thought that I was gonna be able to win without a lot of difficulty, but I guess monsters that hit so hard are a bit of an issue. Let me take a look at these. Are those experienced? I highly doubt so. Like, they're not experienced. 51 and 45 damage. What's the likelihood of it hitting me for big damage one more turn in a row? Because I'm thinking of drinking heal wounds and banking on it not dealing a lot of damage so I can buy a bit of time. It's pretty awkward. I think that I should just blink away and just leave. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna leave. Well, I have to say that everything apart from the Reaper was nice, but the Reaper kind of ruined everything. Overall, that was a net negative because of the Reaper forcing me to use a scroll of blinking, actually. Some pretty bad rolls to begin with. You know, the worst part of that Reaper fight was that I actually got really lucky with the Reaper not dealing a lot of damage to me in the beginning, but I wasn't able to take advantage of that luck because I also didn't do any damage to the Reaper. If I had gotten a couple of really good hits, instead of just missing 5 times in a row, it would have been much better. Lots of snakes here. Wonder what's up with that. Yeah, it's really a lot of snakes. I'm going to open this because that might be a scroll of acquirement. Oh, it was a scroll of torment. It was not acquirement. I guess it's fine. The Shining One forgives you for this act of evil. Inadvertent evil act. Just these ones. Okay, Ghost. It has a stone arrow. I feel like it might beat me. Do I have silence? I do have silence. Okay, I'm not gonna start with silence, but Gonna keep it in mind in case things get nasty. Fortunately, that guy was easier to kill um, than the Spriggans that I fought in Lure. Warlord with a great sword of electrocution. I think I beat it with might. Yeah. Doesn't have willpower. I could maybe also use vulnerability to paralyze it. Oh man, these guys have polearms. That's wild. That's cheating. Yeah, attacks as it pursues you. A shame. I don't like that change at all. You know what? Let's just go upstairs, Mr. Warlord. And wow, this Warlord got 3 attacks in, and all 3 attacks used or got electrocution. I think that's kind of unlucky. So what do we do now to not die? I got butterflies and I got blinking. Those are the ones that guarantee that I live through the next couple turns. But the thing about butterflies is that I only have one, and blinking is blinking, right? Like blinking is really your last option. I'm going to go for option B, which is throwing a net. That works very well. Maybe we can follow that up with paralysis. 1 in 3 chance is not great. Let's use bone first. 60, that's a bit better, but only a teeny tiny bit. And that net bought me enough time to just easily kill the Warlord. Great. Now that I have 6 pips of piety, I should probably bless the Evening Star and switch to the Evening Star for Sot. I think that I can go through pretty much the rest of the game using this Brodax and then just like switch to the Evening Star for Sot. It sounds like a plan. I don't really have to brand it immediately. I'm gonna wait until I have to, you know, get the holy word effect. Oh, look at that. It's a band of ogres, including a mage, which has a 48% chance to paralyze me. But I have a ring of willpower precisely for that kind of situation, so I think we should be fine. Alright. Yeah, I am looking forward to training invocations. So I can use Okawaru, or not Okawaru, the Shining One abilities. Specifically, Divine Shield. I think it would be a good thing to have. Oh, you know what? I anticipate that this Warlord is going to be as complicated as the previous Warlord, so I'm just going to skip a step and just use Vulnerability right now. And then when the Warlord is next to me, I'm going to paralyze it. Come on. Okay, it took me 2 attempts. Pretty good. And there we go. And Strength. And then we tab and everything dies. Not bad, not bad. That went very well. I like that Warlord got a lot more support because it made it so that I could take a turn to read vulnerability without having to tank the Warlord, which does hit pretty hard to be completely fair. Oh, another Warlord. And Jorgrun too. It's actually kind of scary to use vulnerability in this situation. I have Immolation, however. I don't have the resistance. I think Immolation is fine regardless. Yeah, I'm not gonna die from 1 explosion. I might die from 3 explosions, however. 3 explosions would be kinda bad, with no resistance. Come on, explode. This is getting pretty complicated. I really wish I was not in this kind of situation. Come on, don't explode. Okay, you can explode now. Yeah, okay. There we go. Okay. I'm very happy to have a lot of charges of Wonder Roots. Yeah, I'm also very happy to not have used. I'm very happy that I didn't use the Scroll of Vulnerability. Would have kind of been bad with this sorcerer right here. Imagine getting paralyzed on top of all of that. Would have been pretty bad. Randart Cloak, I am interested. Also interested in the Scale Mail, but not as much. The cloak is really, really good. It's incredibly good. I'm a bit surprised that it is that good. It's over enchanted and it has fire resistance. Rampaging, I don't think it stacks because I already have Rampaging as an Armataur, right? Oh, these guys get double healing from potions, right? Oh, I forgot. That explains a lot. Yeah, I haven't played Armataur in a long time, but yeah, double potion effects means that um that explains why I felt like Potion of Might was lasting for like forever earlier. Okay. Now globes. My current globes are literally nothing, so this is guaranteed to be an upgrade. Not as much of an upgrade as I would have wanted, but an upgrade nonetheless. We take those. See what else we got. I'll buy the Scroll of Tele. We are never going to. We're never going to have enough of those. Yeah. More Scrolls of Tele. This one is much cheaper. One of Quicksilver. I'll buy that too. It's pretty good after all. Done exploring. I think the proper syntax is like this. Potions of Enlightenment, that's nice. I had them in mind earlier, but I didn't have them identified, it seems. I'm glad that I switched to Willpower, because otherwise I maybe could have gotten paralyzed, and that wouldn't have been good. Yeah, I don't think I care about the Scale Mail. Okay, we actually got a lot of pretty good stuff from doing Orc. Let's just go back to the dungeon. I can probably kill this ghost already. Hello, Prince Cosmo. Thank you for stopping by. So next tournament is gonna be early next year. I've heard. I think it's cool because I really don't feel like grinding a lot of crawl now. Maybe next year I'll feel like it. Okay. Yeah, the training for evocations has been paying off super hard. I love that I got paralysis. Paralysis is something that I appreciate a lot more after being forced to play without it. Um, yeah, the gnome is terrifying. If you think it's cute, you must not have played a lot of Rift Wizard. The gnome is an actual spawn of evil. It is probably the scariest monster in Rift Wizard. It very easily and quickly ends runs. It is like Sigmund in that regard. Okay, I should. Am I strong enough to beat? I mean, yes, but probably not while surrounded by them. Yeah, I can probably beat them. I was gonna tap them, and then I was like, wait a moment. Skeletal warriors are bile. I shouldn't tap them while they're surrounding me. Um, okay, we get a battle axe. Not that it matters anyway. I cannot really enchant it. If it's not already enchanted and branded, not even gonna look at it. After all, my current weapon is pretty good. You know what I should do? I should get it to Mindalay. Before getting invocations. Oh, it's the ending with a lot of undead monsters. Hmm. You know, I could use Cleansing Flame for that, so I'm just gonna get invocations then. Yeah, maybe by the end of it I'm gonna have Cleansing Flame. Did I get Agonied a bit? Or what's happening? Because all of a sudden I lost a ton of HP. Yeah, kind of. Oh, this guy also has a polearm. That explains everything. Delay. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, let's try to not die. Blinking. I thought that I was gonna be able to kill the simulacrum to heal a bit, but the opposite happened. And I took a ton of damage. Yeah, safe to take that because I have already cleared this level. You know, all these monsters that give me the Shining One piety and nothing to really do with the piety. Um, I guess that I can Divine Shield now, which is fine. I'm actually gonna Divine Shield. Might as well, since after all I am gonna get a lot of piety from being in this level. Oh yeah, gnomes are horrible. So evil. Like most enemies in Rift Wizard. Rift Wizard is such a good game. Like, it's so good, and not only do I find it good because it's like a well-made game, but also because of the feeling that it produces on me when I think about Rift Wizard. Like, it's almost always instant, just like good feelings when I think about Rift Wizard and when I remember Rift Wizard. I don't think that Crawl has me feeling that. Um, yeah, Crawl is fine, but Rift Wizard is like great. I'm always happy to think about Rift Wizard. Yeah, I'm very excited about Rift Wizard 2 releasing um, early next year. Still cannot Cleansing Flame, but I'm gonna try anyway. There we go. Give me back my HP. Spriggan Berserker Zombie. That's the kind of thing that can easily kill a character. It just looks like any other zombie, but it is on a league of its own. Same goes for the Storm Dragon zombie that I killed. Okay, the fun part of the game is over, so now we have to choose between Snake or Swamp. Man, I really don't want to play anymore. Yeah, I really legit don't want to play anymore. This is usually where I come to die. Um, the resistances are actually pretty good on this character. I think we can probably try Snake and hope that we do not die horribly. It certainly gives me much better feels than trying to do Swamp, you know? Swamp has a lot of Hydras and I'm using a bladed weapon. And I don't particularly feel like switching to the Evening Star for one whole branch. Alright, this character is very well geared out, so I'm very happy about that. I feel like I might actually be able to do this without a lot of complications. It has a good weapon. The 5 strength is nice. I wonder if it's better to use a slaying. It probably is not better to use a slaying, but I'm thinking about it in terms of accuracy. Like maybe the extra accuracy that slaying gives me that strength doesn't give me is something that tips the scale. But who really knows? Brand weapon. I'm going to use that immediately because it might well, for the Evening Star. It's a heavy Evening Star, which kinda ruins it, not gonna lie. Now I wish I hadn't done that. Yeah. If you're wondering why I say that that kinda ruins it, it's because it's not a trained weapon, so I already didn't have it at min delay. So now it's gonna be slower than 1.0 delay, which is pretty bad. I gotta get rid of that brand before I bring it to Swamp. Certainly don't want to be tabbing either as well slow. Well, I am an Armataur, so let's just take a sip for 39 HP. Yeah, the great thing about Armataurs is that potions of heal wounds are real good consumables for them. I think on a good roll they can heal for like 60 on a potion of heal wounds, which is wild to think about considering how underwhelming they are for almost every other character. Can that guy kill me? I think that it can, so I should probably respect it a bit. Yeah, I went for the curing. Wait, the Shining One accepts my kill of the Naga Ritualist? What does it do that is evil? That the Shining One doesn't like? Huh. Must be... Yeah, must be a heretical priest or something. And that's why the Shining One doesn't like it. Playing crawl is like riding the bicycle. Like, you don't really forget the muscle memory. You know how little I play nowadays, and I still feel like I play, or at least menu, fast enough. Sometimes it's nice to play this. Yeah. I'm gonna try to stream more frequently. It was nice to take the break, but I feel like, yeah, at least once per week I would like to stream. I probably shouldn't fight that, I have low HP. Yep. Okay, I was on board with fighting all of that, but then the Nagaraja appeared and I feel like I don't want to fight these guys anymore. I'm gonna use Fear first, because Fear is a bit more or less valuable than Butterflies. I'm a bit surprised that I'm getting seriously poisoned even through my poison resistance. The other day I was thinking I'm not really a very social person, and in fact, more often than not, whenever I have social interactions, I end up displeased by them in one way or another, but I don't really think that kind of thing happens to me whenever I am streaming. Yeah, my displeasure comes from taking 89 damage in a single turn. More often than not, more than from social interactions during streams. And that makes me like the concept of streaming. Yeah, I like streaming because of that. Okay, I'm not dead yet. Oof, pretty good heal. I don't know if you saw, but for a second I had 81 HP. So after I took the damage from the turn, I still have 13 more than what I started with. Armataurs are great because heal wounds is a real item beyond the earliest parts of the game. Yeah, pretty cool. So I think that I would like to just go deeper because I don't want to deal with all of these guys. Lots of sharpshooters and the shock serpent. Well, I don't think that I have much option now. I have resistance. Yeah, we have resistance. So every last drop of the potion of resistance. Goodbye shock serpent. Goodbye sharpshooter. Well, let's see if we can find another thing to fight against. Yeah, like another shock serpent. Oh, I lost it just as I found the second shock serpent. That's kind of lame. It's something that I have not been doing and that I probably should be doing is using hexes on the shock serpents. Hopefully I don't see any more. Now that I think about it, I haven't seen a lot of Guardian Serpents. Um, I remember a game that I had a couple of months ago where I was like pretty annoyed at the amount of Guardian Serpents that the game decided to throw at me. I had like 13 Guardian Serpents spread all across the snake. It was pretty bad. But this game I haven't seen any, which is pretty good. I really don't think that kind of enemy should exist at all. You get me? Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day precisely because of that thing. Like I had real life social interaction experience, and then I was left a bit more not displeased, but like I felt like I would have been better off if I had never had that social interaction in the first place. Like nothing really bad happened or anything, but that was the feeling that was left at the end of it, and I was like, I don't really have that feeling whenever I'm streaming. And streaming, you could say that is kind of a social activity, except not really. It's more like parasocial and everything. Shields. Okay, I think we also want might. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to survive these, but let's give it a try. I might have to go upstairs, or at least kill the thing that's constricting me, and then go upstairs. Yeah. If I had heal wounds, this would be nice. I guess I have curing. Curing will have to suffice as heal wounds. I'm really surprised at how everything is just hurting me so badly. Yeah, you barely missed the anaconda. Of course, delightful. Fear would be nice. Butterflies would be nice, and I don't have those. Am I having a crawl mid-game experience? Because this really feels like a crawl mid-game experience. How bad of an idea is it to drink a potion of 3 here? I think it should be fine. I think 3s are immune to poison, so potion of 3 actually makes me immune to poison. Yeah, evasion -2 because I'm constricted. That's funny. I could also Circ. Yeah, I'm gonna Circ for the HP. Or before that, what if we drink Curing? Yeah, there we go. Now we Circ. Are trees not? Oh, I thought that they were immune to poison. I guess they are only resistant. Yeah, okay. That was a big chunk of HP that I pretty much appeared out of nowhere. When I started doing that, I had like 50 HP or so. And then like I used Curing, 3-form Berserk, and now I have 126. Should hopefully be enough to survive this. It's really not looking good. I don't know what compelled all those snakes to be camping the stairs, but they certainly were. Large agglomerations of monsters camping the stairs in Snake is especially bad because on almost any other part of the game you can go upstairs. And in Snake, you like almost everything constricts, right? So you really cannot do that. Um, Same goes for Sot actually. Snake and Sot both have that um, characteristic where it's really scary to go downstairs because you can always go downstairs into oh, you're constricted, and running away is very difficult kind of situation, and there's really not a lot that you can do about it. I really want to try the scent mode, but such a thing is not really available to console. I don't know if it will ever be in console. Apparently, it is difficult to put in the launcher for console crawl, or at least in the server. I mean, because I could download and play a local version of the Send mode, but the point of me playing crawl is more often than not to just like not only get entertainment for myself, but also make things for YouTube. If I am going to play crawl, I might as well be doing so on stream. That's a peculiarity that I have with crawl that like it doesn't really work for me in other games. I feel like I'm much better off playing other games on my own instead of playing them on stream. Exhausted? You mean? No, no, I think it's exhausted really is not the correct word, though that does come up sometimes. Exhausted of human interaction. It's more as I mentioned, I think that I would have been better off with my day, or my day would have gone better if I hadn't had this social interaction. Um, but not like necessarily in a bad way, as in that was an awful interaction. No, it's more like that feeling, and only that feeling. It's difficult to describe, but sometimes I do feel like that. Um, Anyway, we found a tower shield of protection, which is a really good thing. I'm very happy about having found that. Um, I got snake, and maybe we can get a barding, but apparently no snakes here have bardings. Maybe we find Bashnia, and Bashnia has a barding for me. Would be nice. Ooh, man, I don't like this. An anaconda comes into view. I roll towards the anaconda, and I reveal a million enemies. I'm just gonna re-teleport. Yeah, I know that it's only a salamander band, but it's still for the best that I do not fight that. Oh, I have a corridor right here. I decided to sacrifice this choke point. Actually, it was not a corridor, it was a choke point because of the because of this tele trap. I feel like that might be useful at some point. Paralysis on the shock serpent. Roll. Man, I rolled and didn't do any damage to the shock serpent. Or what's up with that? Yeah, I hit the shock serpent for almost no damage. How much damage output do I have? 36. It's not that low. Oh, oh man, I ended up wasting the teleport trap. Hmm. 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 I still don't have wands of digging. It would be nice to have a charge of digging right about now. Precisely because I knew that I was walking into that. Yeah, digging would solve a lot of problems here. I would be able to fight in a way that one or two enemies are not gonna just like chunk away my HP as quickly as everything here has been chunking away at my HP. It is kind of inconvenient. I'm gonna read another teleport. Okay, lucky teleport puts me in a pretty good spot. And I don't need to do that awful level with that awful layout, so I'm just gonna go down. Hopefully I'm not leaving Bashnia behind, because I could really use a barding. I'm reasonably tanky right now, but I'm gonna be a lot tankier if I find a barding. Electrocution. Also not my favorite, but it's better than what I have, or what I had heavy. I think I want Curare. Those are some pretty expensive things, maybe later. And the heal wounds, both of them. In cancellation, I have not identified that. Hello, Jonas. Does this character need to get the axe to min delay? No wish. Yes, it does need to get the axe to min delay. That's why I'm training axes instead of training for the tower shield. The tower shield will give me some penalties to attack speed already, and the fights that I have been getting into, like very clearly, I'm not doing well at them. Like I'm taking a lot of damage. Oh man, like the fact that this is scary, I feel like has a lot to do with my attack speed. If I had good attack speed, that kind of thing wouldn't really be as scary. So yeah, I do think that I want min delay. Pretty much any character that is using a weapon as its main thing wants min delay on whatever weapon it is using. Yeah, offense is the best defense kind of thing. Okay, this is the room bolt. And I think this room bolt has Quicksilver Dragons. I think it has 2 of them. Okay, I did the correct thing, repositioning, because otherwise that Guardian Serpent would have killed me. Nierpo, thank you for the follow, and Side Red Eye, thank you for the 100 bits. I appreciate the support.
Financially independently.
I think that I can walk away, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, okay, now I don't think that I can walk away anymore. Salamanders are... oh, it's almost dead. Man, I should have killed it. I have 1 the Quicksilver. I also have 36 HP. I also have 4 heal wounds. Okay, we get a pretty good heal for 40. We reposition a bit. Quicksilver. We're using Quicksilver here because it's direct damage and it kills the Tyrant. Beautiful. And then we reposition a bit more and now we're good. Yeah. I think that playing like this is something that you should pretty much always do. Like play in such a way that you will try to retain as many scrolls of blinking as possible. Because in that situation, I could have also used a scroll blinking, but you know, those are important to preserve for later in the game. And I've been using a good amount of them. I think that at some point I had like 6 or so, and now I have 4. Oh, so many Guardian Serpents. Oh man, I hate Guardian Serpents. Guardian Serpents shouldn't be in the game. Oh, this is so painful. So, here I have 2 options. I blink or I teleport. If I had random blinking from, you know, the book, it would be nice to use right about now, but I don't have that. Yeah, like it was eventually gonna happen. I was a bit optimistic because I've already killed 3 of these in this level, and I was like, there's no way this level is gonna have 4 Guardian Snakes, right? Guardian Serpents. Oh man, I hate Guardian Serpents so much. And yeah, I think that I'm gonna re-teleport, and then I'm gonna take like 80 damage the next turn because everything that's surrounding me is mighty. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Look at this. Mighty, Mighty and a Barding, so that's the one silver lining here. If I survive, I get a Barding. Mighty, mighty. Not mighty, but this is the guy that mightied everything. Mighty, mighty, and mighty. Um, so yeah. You know, I think that I should just skip the step where I know that I'm gonna take 80 damage and I should just like blink immediately, right? And then if the Guardian Serpent just blinks them all into me again, I guess that I can be pretty sad about my situation. Um, I was thinking of blinking over here, but that gives the Guardian Serpent the ability to blink them into me again. So I should blink over here where the Guardian Serpent cannot do that. Yeah. Alright. We take a... Oh, minus tele. Really? What was your chance of doing that? Because I think that I have willpower. 28. Do I really have willpower? I do. I have one willpower equipped and... Well, they're slow, and I am not slow, and I do have potions of haste, so I'm just gonna drink one of those, use one of the roots, and then make a run for it. Because what else can I really do against all of that? Alrighty. Now that I have successfully repositioned, I can just wait here and kill whatever comes over here. This would be a great character if it had like good range combat, which it really doesn't have. I have some silver jabs, but I don't have the skill required to properly use them. Because, for example, in that situation, I really felt like it would be great if I could kill that without moving towards it, and I cannot do that. So I'm just gonna move away from it. Yeah, the golden rule of Crawl is that if you cannot kill something by moving towards it, you should probably kill it by moving away from it. Whether it is repositioning or just a straight up leaving the level, both are effective ways to deal with monsters that are pretty scary. Come on. Yeah, kind of annoying that every fight is like making me lose half of my HP. Not really a lot that I can do about it, just like burn my consumables and survive um, for as long as I can. Yeah, every fight that I have, I am stuck with a feeling of, oh man, I really hope um, that I don't just run into a Guardian Serpent or something like that, you know, or a Bashnia or the Nagarajas, because I am gonna die if I am stuck fighting what I'm currently fighting and that as well. Not a very good feeling, but that's just the kind of thing that the Chrome mid-game experience is all about. Yeah, that was a lot of Guardian Serpents. It really didn't have to be this way. I would have preferred the Quicksilver Dragons ending to what I got, for sure. But we're done. If I get Mindley and that evasion ring, that probably gets better. Yeah, the evasion ring is actually gonna be really nice when I can buy it. It will replace my current ring of resistance to negative and 5 strength, but yeah, 5 evasion is something that I value a bit more than resistance to negative, at least for now. Maybe much later in the game things will change. So we have a Phantom Mirror on Bashnia, and we win. Bashnia dies, and I get a Barding. Sweet. Hello, actual good defenses. We're gonna enchant it because, like, when you're playing Palentonga, or I guess Armataur is called now, or Naga, I guess Nagas also have the same thing happen to them. You enchant the first barding that you get. You don't really get the luxury of saying, "Oh, But it's not like branded or anything. I don't want to enchant it. No, no, you enchant it because you're not gonna get another one. The sole fact that you got a barding is already lucky enough. Ah, I hope um, that this barding will help with my problems when it comes to survivability. But I really attribute those to the fact that it's just the crawl mid game experience. This is where like stronger league game characters come to die. By the way, I could have died there just because I went up into some unexplored stairs at half HP. Don't do that kind of thing if you want to win. mm, I guess we go do bolts now. It's gonna be painful because I feel like the issues that I have in Snake are gonna be also very present here in bolts. Okay, we go for the Warden first because I don't want to get locked in. It worked very well. Min delay is gonna be a big deal because min delay means that I can start training for the tower shield. I could equip it already, but I feel like my attack speed will be a serious issue if I equip the tower shield. Careful with the thunder hook. We don't want to get thunder hooked. I might read silence for that guy. Okay, maybe there's no need. Yeah, thunder hooks are really scary. I don't like them. Really not a fan of thunder hooks. Okay. Yeah, this is not a terrible character. I do have to say that. Now that I have survived the crawl mid game, um, the character has a bright future ahead of it. I think that surviving to the point where you get your first rune is probably the hardest part of the game. Um, Especially because the process of getting the first rune is pretty difficult nowadays. Mm, Everything after that is not as difficult. Lots of thunder hooks, but this is a pretty good arena to fight a thunder hook on. In case you're not aware, the way that thunder hooks work is that they can only shoot you with their extremely powerful electricity attack if they're not too close to you. If you can hit them with a polearm, they cannot attack you. Apart from, Rift. Rift is the one polearm where you could theoretically hit it and it could retaliate. That is new. It's not new, it's a new version of a wizard. A wizard fond of spectacle and destruction, they scorn the cowardice of other magicians who hide from their foes rather than simply blasting them out of existence. That's me when I play Deep Elf. Bolt of Cold Haste, Vitrify, and Blink. And this is renders a creature's body structure as brittle and fragile as glass, increasing the damage they take from all sources. I thought that it was only from physical damage, but from all sources is pretty mean, especially because crystal monsters are pretty resilient in both resistances and defenses. Um, okay, we killed the Arcanist. Anti-magic Brodax. I should probably be carrying that. $16 axes. We're almost there. I need 18. 18 is gonna be min delay. 50 damage. So how did I press O, right? Pressing O got me punished for 50. I really don't like Thunderhawks. They're like one of my least favorite enemies in the entirety of Crawl. They're not as despised by me as Hydras are, but they are pretty despicable. Okay, you have a 15% chance to banish me. It would be nice if you didn't do it. But yeah, I didn't fear banishment badly enough to want um, to use File of Lots or a Scroll Silence. That's gonna be the Crypt entrance. You know, I think that this character can definitely go into Crypt with an Evening Star of Holy Wrath for a bit of a training arc. You know, after all, I am with the Shining One, so Crypt shouldn't be difficult at all. Um, oh, also, I completely forgot. The Shining One gives you resistance to negative. So my Ring of 5 Strength is really only a Ring of 5 Strength. It's not a Ring of 5 Strength with resistance to negative. Alrighty. Fragile. Oh, Great Orbs of Ice have that now? That's cool. What else do they have? Bitrify is probably how you're supposed to pronounce it. Polymorph, Mind Burst, and Confuse. They don't have Paralyze anymore. That's fine. I think that I'm gonna go upstairs. Oh, come on. Man, I hate Thunderhooks. Thunderhooks are such garbage monsters. They really shouldn't exist. So that Thunderhook alone dealt like more than 100 damage. It's kind of crazy. You may look at this situation and think that it's kind of messed up, but I still look at it and feel like I'm safer than fighting one Thunderhook. Now, if the Convoker had also happened to convoke a Thunderhook over here or so, that would have been pretty messed up. Cleansing Flame. Some damage. Let's do it again. Yeah, just to get rid of the Insane Champion. And as you can see, it also dealt significant damage to everything else. Cleansing Flame is a really strong ability. I wish it told you how much damage it deals, but for some reason that knowledge is also, or is still pretty obscure. Lots of other things have clarity in their damage numbers, but for some reason Cleansing Flame and other god abilities just don't have that. That's a pretty bad amulet. Armataur is a new species. Yeah, it's the rework of Palentonga, which was the rework of Centaur. Well, it was not really a rework, more like a replacement for Centaur. But it was bad. Palentonga was one of the worst species that has ever been in the game. This fragile thing is pretty interesting. Like, for example, here, if Frederick happened to hit me with anything, pretty much, Force Lance Iron Shot, Bolt of Cold, or melee, it would deal significant damage, so it's kind of scary. I think it's interesting that it's a hex that doesn't directly do anything, but it makes everything else be much more scary than it normally is. Yeah, Armataur is also not something that I personally play a lot of. I played like one shortly after it released, and not a lot since. I'm playing an Armataur today because when I started the game, I got a splash art for an Armataur of the Shining One, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna play that. I didn't really jump into Crawl thinking I'm gonna play a specific thing. I was gonna hit random until that appeared on the screen, and I was like, okay, I'll play that instead of playing random. Also, contributing fact, or a contributing factor in my decision to play that was that I haven't played an Armataur in a very long time. Um, Alrighty. Almost min delay on the axe. If you're wondering why it's taking me forever to get min delay, Armataurs have -2 on axes. -2, it's pretty bad. But it's only pretty bad because Armataurs have a lot of pretty good things um, in other departments. Certainly not in aptitudes. Like their only really good aptitude is armor and I guess stealth for some reason. Yeah, the other ones are pretty bad. Um, Shields is okay as well, but yeah, that's about it. Um, the good thing that Armator has is double potion effects. They have plus 10 HP from base, and they also have brown scales, so they have almost 20% more HP than a human, which is pretty good. They also get to wear barding, so they end the game with a lot more with a lot more armor class than other characters because of the barding. Okay, do these still paralyze you? Yeah, to poison and momentarily paralyze if any damage is dealt. Those monsters are funny. I wonder if anyone has gotten like roughed out of a win by one of those monsters. I could see the one-turn paralysis being extremely nasty if, like, for example, one of those guys is recalled by a frost by Convoker. I need more fire resistance. I don't have potion of resistance. I think I beached Dawa, but I might have to Circ. I think it's the safest thing to do for the extra HP. If I'm not gonna have fire resistance, I'd rather have extra HP. I'll buy the Potion of Haste. It's almost as good as a Scroll Blinking. Do they get barehanded fighting abilities? Not quite. I guess they get a. Do they get a tail slap? You have a long armored tail. Yeah. Okay. So you do get extra melee. It's not unarmed. You don't have to be unarmed to have this happen. Um, but whenever you're attacking in melee, whether it is with a weapon or not, you get this ability, a 40% chance to launch an attack with a base damage of 10. Not a particularly great thing. I think it's better if you have high amounts of dexterity. Finally, we have hit min delay for access. So we're gonna be training shields now. So that happens as an extra attack in the same turn as other attacks. Yeah, pretty much. Just an extra attack. Other species get more. For example, the player in Dragon form gets a lot of those. Not only does Dragon form already deal absolutely crazy melee damage, that was nerfed with the transition into talismans, but it's still a lot of damage. It also gets a lot of auxiliary attacks. I think you get claw. Well, you get the claws, which increase your base damage. You get a bite, and you get a tail slap as well. You get 3, I think. Item dragon. Offense. Yeah, you get a bite and a tail slap when you're in dragon form. You can accumulate a lot of those. Monstrous Demon Spawn gets like 4. But Monstrous Demon Spawn also sacrifices a lot of armor slots to have those things, so it is not really desirable. I got shafted, didn't I? I should go up. There was another kind of wizard. It was Arcanist and another one, but I don't know how the other one is called. Oh, come on. Thunderhooks, why do they have to exist? I hate Thunderhooks. I'm probably pulling Saint Roca towards me too. I just got hit for 41. Was that really only from one monster? I think so. Kinda messed up that it hit me so hard with one attack. Yeah, had to use attraction there because otherwise the Thunderhook was gonna kill me with its electricity attacks. And if it's next to me, it cannot do it. It still hits kinda hard in melee, but it's not nearly as bad as it doing its electricity attack. I'm gonna read tele because the start of this fight got me pretty hurt. Okay, pretty good tele. I keep forgetting that these guys read scrolls so slowly. It really doesn't come up as much. It's not like as negatively impactful as it is positively impactful that they get double effects for their potions. Double effects from their potions means that I can drink a potion of heal wounds here, and it heals me for, well, I don't know if you saw, but it got me to 136, and I was at 89 or something like that, right? 81. 81, and it got me to 136. That's such a good heal. No other character can get such a crazy heal from a potion of heal wounds. So yeah, that's nice, and I really like it. I'm going to equip the tower shield now. Let's see my attack speed, 0.8, 0.9. Yeah, it's fine. It was important to get min delay on the axe before equipping the tower shield because now I have worse attack delay, but I have a lot more protection courtesy of the shield, and it's a shield of protection too, so I get a little bit of extra armor class. Now I have 40. Pretty tanky guy. Unfortunately, it still is not enough to avoid taking crazy amounts of damage from random things sometimes. I need some evasion. Yeah, I do. I have a ring of evasion that I want to buy actually, but I still cannot afford it. That's Saint Roca. I'm thinking about how to proceed here. Phantom Mirror on Saint Roca doesn't sound like a terrible idea, at least to begin. This guy has a battle axe, so that's useful. And then I would like to follow up by reading Immolation. Hopefully Saint Roca is not going to immediately disappear because I use Immolation. It's fine. Roots. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, this is not a particularly dangerous fight. Most of the fights before I equipped the shield were actually harder than this. Saint Roca just died without me like really doing anything. That went very well. Cool. Man, this Saint Roca is lasting for a very long time. Oh, let me guess, because back in the day, whenever I used Phantom Mirror, the summon disappeared in like 3 turns. So I bet that the duration was like bugged or something. Um, because I did used to use it with like high evocations. This character doesn't even have that high evocations. I think it has like 12, and it's lasted for a good amount of time already. It certainly lasted for longer than I expected it to. Cool. It's still here. Is it gonna be permanent? Certainly feels like that. I think it's gone. I think it disappeared. But yeah, that lasted for a really long time. Unexpected, but not unpleasant. Yeah, hitting this character is supposed to be kind of like hitting the wall with how tanky it is. In practice, it's not really like that, but but it's tanky enough that I don't really die whenever I am fighting, which is nice. As I mentioned earlier, the process of getting your first rune really is like the lowest point for a lot of characters. Guaygua's Bolt's easier than getting my first rune. I don't know, but that's how how the devs want it to be, I suppose. Now we go and do crypt. That seems like a plan. What I'm going to do in crypt is wait until I see a bunch of undead, and then I'm gonna use brand weapon with Holy Wrath, and then we're gonna rebrand the Evening Star. We're gonna turn it into an Evening Star of Holy Wrath, and we get the Holy Word effect. What does that do? It dazes and deals damage to every undead on the screen. It used to be a great scroll. I really like the scroll of Holy Word. I wish it hadn't been removed because it was an extremely useful scroll for the orb run. Yeah, this is not gonna be difficult at all. But I should be using the Evening Star. I have 15 maces. Min delay for the Evening Star is 16. I don't know if it's a good idea to train for it. Probably not, and I'm probably better off just like training for shields. And yeah, this is not. I really think that this is not gonna be very difficult. Apart from tormentors, I should be careful with those, of course. Like that curse school. I was gonna just run in and kill everything, but cannot really do that with a curse school ready to flank me. That could kill me. Okay, I can buy the ring of 5 evasion. I wonder if I'm gonna regret buying this thing. Probably. There we go. Yeah, 9 evasion. Okay. Should I swap back to my resistance to negative ring? No, because I still have 3 pips of resistance to negative. The reason why I'm doing crypt at all is because I am a worshipper of the Shining One, and that's one of the perks that the Shining One provides. The Halo is good, Cleansing Flame is good, the Shield is good, and Angels are good. Holy Wrath on your weapon is good. Yeah, the Shining One is good. That's pretty much all I have to say. The Shining One is good. I want those items. I really do. But I'm gonna clear the level before opening that, because that might be a difficult fight. Now, when it comes to dealing with these guys, I think it's better to have the anti-magic broad axe. Let me take a look at this. Ooh, that is gonna be kind of a problem. The leeches are not gonna be bad, I think. Yeah, they're still the same. Same old, same old. And same old, same old. 29% chance to paralyze. I think that I'm better off leaving that for later. But I am going to do it. I think that I'm gonna do it on my way out of here. Hey, a Reaper. Time to have a rematch versus the Reaper. Really cool thing about the Shining One, the Halo is like See Invisible. So the Shining One worshipper does not need See Invisible from like very early in the game. It makes it so that things that are usually pretty messed up, like unseen horrors, are not really an issue for your character. It's great. Oh yeah, this is pretty fantastic, pretty great thing to experience, being a worshipper of the Shining One and having access to this kind of power in Crypt. Specifically in Crypt, because the rest of the game is not going to be as good as this, as we have already seen. I do have to say that I haven't been summoning angels, and I could be summoning angels. Angels are really strong, even if you're not fighting against undead. Specifically Devas. Devas are kind of busted. That reminds me of another game that I've been playing off stream. I played it when it first released, but I've been playing Indivisible, which is kind of like a bit of a Metroidvania with some um, with turn-based combat. It is interesting because it's also team-based. It's so difficult to describe because I don't think that I've ever seen a game like it since it released, and it released a couple of years ago. It's not like it flopped or anything, um, but yeah, not a particularly popular game anyway. So you have like a party of people that are helping you, the main character, and you can control them all in battle. And they have like different attacks that they can do. I guess the closest thing that I can think of is probably like that new Yakuza game, um, but with Metroidvania style exploration. Instead of it being 3D and like, Yakuza like exploration. If you have never played it, I recommend that game. It's actually pretty okay. I do see that it is somewhat unfinished of a game, but it is a pretty good game anyway. Probably the kind of thing that someone else would play on stream, but nah, I only play Qual on stream really. Should have checked this guy before opening the door. I can probably beat it. It is pretty strong, but I can probably beat it. 11% chance to get paralyzed by the Vampire Knight. Better prioritize that. Okay. It is hurting me pretty badly, but I'm also hurting it pretty badly. I think I'm winning this fight. But yeah, it's taking forever to kill this guy. It has a crazy evasion and crazy armor class. Some pretty good stats for a character at all, or like just period. I would prefer to have those defenses than have the defenses that I currently have. But it was not that much of an issue, as you can see. Shard Shrike Zombie. Scary Zombie. I'm going to spam Cleansing Flame before I die to multiple iron shots because Ancient Champs have iron shot. It's like they're Skeletal Warriors, but they also have iron shot pretty much. It's the only difference between those guys and Skeletal Warriors. And there we go. The Shining One, just doing the Shining One things. I'm back to pretty much full HP. So I can keep tabbing a bit, and then when my HP goes down again, I just do that a couple of times, and we're good to go. The random zombie or the random mummies are really not helping here. Yeah, I think that I should re-teleport because the mummy priests are a game changer, unfortunately. They make it so that I run into serious danger by staying and fighting the long fights since they have torment. They also have summon undead, which yeah, a lot of the undead that I'm fighting are summoned by the mummies. Yep, lots of summons. These are not summoned, this has distortion. I can probably beat it without running the risk of getting banished. I think it would have been very funny if I had gotten banished, like within one turn of it being next to me. Fortunately, it didn't happen. Yep, lots of cleansing flame spam, which does cost the Shining One piety. I think it costs like, yeah, about 1% of your max possible piety. It's not very costly. The cost does stack up if you use it like this in other parts of the game, but in Crypt it's not an issue. Of course, everything that you kill gives you the Shining One piety, so you can use it for 5 times in a fight and it's okay. As long as it's not the kind of fight that you get into every time. Only okay to spam it like that on big fights. I think it's funny that Deepo of Death Mage used Bolt of Draining against me because I'm completely immune to it. It's not common that the player gets complete immunity to something, but Draining does work like that. If you have 3 pips of resistance to negative, you're completely immune to Draining effects. Okay. Cursto means spam Cleansing Flame until there's nothing surrounding you that can kill you after the Cursto torments you 17 times, which it's going to do. That is something that you cannot really prevent. I don't think it's vulnerable to silence or anything. This is the entrance to Tomb. Not Royal Mummies, that's nice. I think that I could beat a Royal Mummy at this point in the game, but I certainly am glad that I didn't have to test my character versus a Royal Mummy. Some disappointing loot. But I think that the real loot that I came here for is gonna be in that Lich Bolt. Alrighty. This is gonna be the real hardest fight here. The Liches are scary and this guy is pretty scary as well. Doesn't have a lot of evasion, but it has about as much armor class as I do, if not a bit more. Yeah, I think it has a bit more than I do. It also has more HP, right? 186. No, I actually have a bit more HP myself. Cool. Alright, so we reach silence. Yes, we can. Oh, come on. That was muscle memory at work right there. Um, yeah, we want to get rid of the leeches while silence is active. And then we get rid of this guy, and surprisingly, it was so much easier to kill than the other one that I fought. Goes to show how impactful evasion is on monsters. The amulet that we get is a significant upgrade because not only is it also regen, but it also has 2 pips of cold resistance, willpower, and 2 dexterity, and stealth doesn't matter because I'm the shining one. Crazy upgrade. This is not so good. Weakness to cold. I could put it on actually. I would be sacrificing 3 armor class for another source of regen, and yeah, I think it's okay. 3 armor class for another source of regen. Now we have 2 regen per turn. It's actually pretty good. Oh, that's a great drink. I think we can lose willpower since I just got another source of it. Worst case scenario, if I need 2 sources of willpower, I can always use a potion of willpower. That potion of enlightenment inscription is gonna turn into potion of willpower instead of potion of flight, because it is going to be a potion of willpower for me from now on. I still wish there was a potion of see invisible. I think that's the kind of thing that would be a good property to have on a potion, so that you don't have to juggle your gear for a potion of or for the see invisible property. For some fights where you're likely to be fighting things that are invisible, like in Sot or Crypt or Elf. Talking about Elf, I think that's what we do next, since I just got resistance to electricity. Wizlav here. I still haven't done Swamp, so that's gonna be the next thing, I suppose, after Elf. Do we have magic mapping? We don't have magic mapping. Kind of a shame that it's so late into the game and we don't have magic mapping. It says that it's very nearby. Oh man, dead end. No idea what it is. Well, we're gonna find it soon. Pretty sure. Distant. Okay, so we're walking in the opposite direction. Very distant. I have no idea what it is. I thought that I was getting closer, but apparently not. Maybe it's up. Yeah, maybe it's up. Gee, I really could use magic mapping here. I went from nearby to very distant. Like it's so difficult to spot portal bolts in the game nowadays. Okay, I see a tree. Maybe we're close. Maybe it's here. I think it might be. No, it's not here. Yeah, like no idea what it is. I'm probably gonna miss it. Yeah, is it me or the timer was like very short this time? Do you think it's gonna be here? It does say very nearby. Oh man, where can it be? It says very nearby, but I've already explored almost everything that could be considered very nearby, and I don't find it. Okay, so I know where it is. It's like over here. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna make it. I'm gonna drink haste. This is like a spiral or something. Yeah, this sucks. It's at the end of this. Okay, somehow I made it. Probably didn't need to haste. At least there's party mansion. At least it's not one of the ones that I like straight up refuse to do. It's a stoned giant and an occultist. Okay, this is a new one. Wizard fond of illusion and treachery, they scorn the crudeness of other magicians who hurl wild conjurations towards their foes rather than cunningly exploiting their greatest weaknesses. Okay, this is really funny. They put Onatical and me in the game. I'm the other wizard and this is Onatical. Um, well, not really. This has Fireball and Force Lance. I think Onatical would be more like... No, not Onatical. Who uses hexes? Who is known for using hexes? Onerical is more like the cat guy more than the um, not use really strong magic guy. Hmm. I don't know. I don't really think of anyone in the community who's like big on hexes. Probably because hexes suck. Yeah, if hexes were good, I could imagine someone in the community whose main thing is like hexing monsters and goes for hexes every game. But at least I think that hexes are bad enough that no one wants to submit themselves to that on a consistent basis. Maybe once or twice as a challenge run, but every time, no one. Um, and that tells a lot, I think, because as we know, people are willing to do the terrible things to themselves in the context of this game, um, and they even consider it to be fun. Onatical is the example that comes to mind. Oh man, this character is really strong. Yeah, look at that, beautiful. These are piles of 1 gold, so if you really want to, you can get that gold out with a port. I don't have it. No, I don't have it. Sigil of Binding is new. I think I saw that in my last game, but yeah, who cares about that? Not this character for sure. Should be careful with my fragility. Should maybe wait it out. When I see fragile in crawl, I'm always reminded of the fragile property that makes you that makes you destroy whatever weapon you unwield that has that property. That's what I think of. So I saw fragile and I was like, oh, I might break if I'm unwielded, but no one is wielding me, fortunately. I've got blink. Did I have blink the spell? Oh, I do. Yeah. Do I care? No, no, I don't care. I think I would rather dedicate that experience towards something else. More strength. Okay. I have identified the last scroll, which was acquirement. Whoa, that's a bombshell of an item. Oh man, it's so good. I'm not gonna get it. It hurts me. It's really, really good. It's so good, but I'm not gonna get it. Um, the reason why I'm not gonna get it is because I already spent so much on the shield. You know, I have 18 shields. Not to mention that I also have a manual of shield, which is what I'm gonna pick. Um, it would feel bad to throw away a tower shield of protection for a weapon, even if it's such an exquisite weapon. Um, anyway, let's go back to the acquirements. Yeah, I'm gonna get the manual of shields. I'm so hurt by by having done that, but that was the correct thing to do, in my opinion. The more I think of it, the more I think that maybe that wasn't such a right decision. But the Executioner Axe was 24 skill, and you saw how long it took me to get Mindelay on a Broadaxe. Nah, I think it was okay not to pass on the Executioner Axe. Maybe if it had been a Battle Axe, it would have been better. Um, Alrighty, interesting bolt. I'm glad that I made it. Pretty good. We're gonna train this to 18, and after that we're gonna go back to shields. We're gonna train shields until I run out of manual, which I suspect is gonna be before 24 skill. I think that Demonologist summon a Hell Sentinel for like one turn. Three scrolls of brand weapon. I don't think I care about brand weapon anymore. I had it for the Evening Star, but now the Evening Star is an Evening Star of Holy Wrath, which I'm gonna enchant actually. Yeah, if I need to switch weapons for some reason, if the Broadaxe is not doing it, I think that the weapon that I'm gonna be using is that Evening Star. Getting it to Mindelay will not be as much of a push. It's already at 15 skill, and I only need 16 for Mindelay. But very clearly, I don't have to really do that. I went through Crypt very easily without having it at Mindelay. Yeah, that decision of the Executioner's Axe was pretty interesting. I would have gone for it if I had gotten that Executioner's Axe before getting the Tower Shield, but the Tower Shield came to my character first. Like that's the item that I got first, so that's what I'm gonna be using. These characters started with maces, and the difference between that Executioner's Axe and the Broadaxe that I have is that I got the Broadaxe really early. Um, It was in a shop on D6, and I bought it pretty much by the time I was leaving D6. So that was pretty huge. Um, I think that buying the Brodax in that situation was absolutely the correct choice. After all, I'm still using it and it's been a while. Um, I would absolutely do that again, but going from Brodax to Executioner Sax at this point in the game, yeah, that's really a no-no. Too expensive. If I win this, I'm gonna be on a streak of 2 because I haven't lost a game since my last one. And it's gonna be kind of funny to be in a streak of 2, considering that I played my last game 2 weeks ago. Maybe I can come back in 2 weeks from now and get a streak of 3, and then a streak of 4, and then a streak of 5, and it would be cool if I could surpass my streak of 10, which I have in my original account, but I don't know about that. I think it would be funny if something enough could classify you for the Annihilators. I think it would be really, really funny, actually. Okay, I would say that this character is a certified really strong character, just as this is certified pretty good gold scales. Probably what I'm gonna be using from now on. Yeah, the chainmail had a pretty good run, but it doesn't compare to the gold scales. Gold scales give me absolutely beautiful resistances. The defenses are kind of the same, slightly worse than the ones that I got from the chainmail, but the resistances are really good. Um, yeah, really like these resistances. It even gives me resistance to poison for when I unwield the Brodax. Poison resistance I think is kind of important to have for SOT. Um, because in SOT it's not spam, but all green draconians have the ability to shoot poison clouds at you, and that's really bad on a paralysis. You're not gonna hex me with that because I have willpower. Yeah, there we go. Scimitar speeds, worm. It's like mega poison. Yeah, if you're standing on clouds of poison, it's gonna hurt you. So I think the best thing that you can do is to have poison resistance for SOT. The loot that this character has is really, really good. Oh, I accidentally read butterflies. So that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to read this. To enchant my barding. There we go, fully enchanted barding. Ooh, that's a pretty good ring. I like this ring a good amount. Oh, I really want it, but I don't think that I should put this on. I am going to carry it. It's certainly good enough for me to carry for the rest of it. Oh no, you gotta be joking. I said earlier you enchant your first barding because it's not like you can have the luxury of waiting for a barding of fire resistance. Oh man, I'm not gonna use that. I'm not gonna use that unless I somehow run into 10 scrolls of enchant armor. If it happens, I'm gonna be very happy to come back and fully enchant it and use it, but it's not gonna happen. Yeah, I'm gonna enchant the globes as well because I think that I can afford to do that. I'm very surprised at how easy this was. But I guess that's just what happens when you have a really strong character. Manual of Fighting. Oh boy, this is great. We're gonna train that to 23, and then we're gonna go back to fighting. Wow, really, really good loot that we got from Elf. We got our first scroll of acquirement of the game, which resulted in a manual of shields, and we also got a manual of fighting. And we got a Warding of Fire Resistance that I don't really want to put on because -4 armor class. I might still want to carry it, you know, because for Orbs of Fire, maybe I do want to put this on after all. Okay, having done Elf, the next thing to do is not Snake. We're gonna do Swamp. And then we're almost done. I think that I can do Tomb or Abyss, or maybe even a Hell Branch for my third rune. It's fine. Not even gonna bother checking the ghost. I know that I'm powerful enough to beat it. I've already beaten creep level ghosts. And yep, I beat it with no complications at all, even though I was confused. I switched to the Evening Star here because of Hydras. I don't wanna just like be distracted, tab an Hydra and give it like all the heads. So I'm gonna go back to the axe once I get out of here. But for now, the Evening Star will do the trick. It even is effective versus certain things here, like that Ghost Craft. Luis, you have a 10% chance to banish me, so I'm gonna use one of my 10 potions of... oh, that's not what I wanted to use. I should drop those, actually. Yeah. There we go. So now Louise cannot hex me, and I can easily kill her. She always has a tower shield. It's a pretty lame tower shield, unfortunately. Easy kill on Louise. There we go. Yep, we have gotten to the point in the game where I feel like I'm driving a pile driver over monsters, and it is great. Pile driver? A bulldozer is probably like a better term to use. Yeah, bulldozer over monsters. So the monsters just get flattened in like 2 turns. This kind of power is only really possible if you leave the second Lure Branch for later. If you do it right after you do the first one, it's gonna be usually as difficult as the first one. It might even kill you. Like if the first one fails to kill you, the second one might succeed because it's not like you get significantly more powerful from the point where you start the first one to the point where you end the first one. So I like to delay it. I think that because you might be thinking, oh, like Nine Settler only uploads wins, right? So maybe Nine Settler is only showing us the characters where that works, and it more often than not doesn't work. But the reality is that I don't think that I have gotten killed as a direct result of doing that very frequently. If anything, it's probably more often that I die trying to do the second Lure Branch than I die doing bolts instead of the second Lure Branch. Yeah. I can beat Nicola easily. Yeah, it's not an issue. I have the resistance and a lot of armor class. And I got gloves. Better gloves. Gloves of harm. I hope that I don't get killed by wearing these gloves of harm. But I have 14.9 armor class now, so it should be fine. Roxanne is an easy kill. I could have made it even safer by wielding and using anti-magic versus her, but there was no need. I also was a bit curious to see how hard Crystal Spear would hurt me, because I'm wearing harm. Baisu Shen with a bit of support is kind of scary, but Baisu Shen with a bit of support and the Shambling Mangrove is actually... that was pretty bad. But I felt strong enough that I could beat it, and I do end up beating it without a lot of complications. There's a lot of perks to delaying this part of the game, as you can see. Alrighty, pretty easy snake. I would do it again in the exact same order. Um, yeah, everything after snake has been really, really easy. There were a couple of low points in bolts where, like, Thunderhook's doing Thunderhook things, but other than that, it's been going pretty good. Now the only thing left to do is to go do depths and the abyss. I think that I could really do Tomb, like legit. I'm not joking, I could do Tomb. But the thing about Tomb is that it's kind of painful to do because the guys with Torment now, the both of them have summons, right? And one of them, like the Royal Mummy, has summon Emperor Scorpion, and that is difficult to deal with for this kind of character. So that's why I don't want to do Tomb as my third rune. But I can do the Vestibule of Hell. Yeah, I can do the Vestibule of Hell. I'm not going extended, but I can do the Vestibule of Hell. Maybe I could get a Hell rune, actually, as my third rune. I don't think that's gonna be so difficult. Let me go back to the products. No fear of Hydras anymore. Potion of Flight. Yeah, I always stay away from this bolt because I hate it, but now today I'm gonna kill everything in here. Yeah, I beat all of those guys with 0 HP loss, pretty much. I ended the fight at full HP. That's a kind of fight that on a less equipped character, that would have been pretty awful. Okay, Depths 1 down, very easy. Depths 2 has us fight Sojobo. Sojobo meet Wand of Roots. Then a Phantom Mirror. So now my Sojobo is not gonna be rooted, and enemy Sojobo will be rooted. So now it's time for you to do your thing, Sojobo. Okay, easy kill. Look at that. Sojobo dies. Okay, this time the Sojobo clone disappeared in the amount of time that I am more accustomed to. I have no idea why Saint Roca lasted forever. Is it because I used vulnerability, or did I even use vulnerability versus Saint Roca? I don't think so, because I think that the duration of the clone scales with willpower of the enemy monster. Let's see, what does this say? Yeah, the reflection's duration increases with evocations and decreases with the willpower of the target. Maybe it is that I never use it versus monsters like that. I took a ton of damage. Let's see, 73. Look at that. Metal splinters for a lot of damage. This hits for 3 dice of 30, but it says that its damage is strongly reduced by armor, so I have no idea why it hit me for so much damage. But sure, it's not gonna happen again. Yeah, that was just an unfortunate bad roll. Not uncommon. Um, we want those, and we want these, and we want that. Okay, I guess might as well. Yeah, I don't want Cirque because Cirque is a dangerous thing to have at this point in the game. I'm not gonna use throwing, so I'm just gonna get rid of the throwables. Asterion on depths 2. It's a bit too late into the game for Asterion to spawn, especially when he tends to die by using an Asterion invocation or by using a Maklev invocation. Um, that used to happen to players too. Now it doesn't happen so much. Juggernaut. I am carrying Curare, so we Curare the Juggernaut, and then we whack the Juggernaut, and the Juggernaut dies. Pretty good. Really glad that the Juggernaut was not copied by the Rakshasa, because that would have been pretty bad. I wonder if Rakshasa don't copy really messed up monsters or something, because I don't remember a single occasion where a Rakshasa has copied something like really bad. It must be that Rakshasa don't often spawn close to monsters that are like super scary. I don't think I care about any of those things. I can buy the Wonder Roots. I can buy the nets. I wonder why nets are so cheap. I think that at this point in the game, nets shouldn't be that cheap because of how powerful they are. Okay, I'll enchant the Barding. I don't care about any of those things. Okay. 4 shops, and they were not particularly great, but it doesn't matter. At this point, any shops that have at least one item that I want to buy are good shops, because how often is it that you finish your game and you don't have or you finish your game with a ton of money and you don't really have anything to want that you want to buy, you know? No, so having items and no money at this point in the game is better than not having items, having a lot of money. Yeah, I think the game should, or like there should not be a rune lock in SOT, really. It would be cool if there was no rune lock in SOT, because most of my characters that I have been playing in the last couple of months are like this, where I have 2 runes and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of done with the character. I know that I'm gonna win the game unless something really dumb happens. But I still have to get a 3rd rune, which broadens the possibility of something dumb actually happening. Yeah, maybe one of these days the rune lock is actually gonna get removed. I like this bolt because it's like a really small Bolts 5 if you think about it. It's a bunch of loot and a bunch of scary monsters, and it's 4 quadrants. So yeah, lots of parallels to Bolts 5. Let's see, does this character have any weaknesses? I guess being spammed with acid attacks, but I am competent enough that I'm not gonna let myself be spammed with acid attacks. And I mean actually be spammed, like a band of only yellow draconians would be kind of scary for this character. But no such thing can generate. I think it would be interesting if bands of one color of draconian could spawn. But that's not how it works, at least. almost done. I should train more armor as well. I have really good aptitude for armor and I only have it at 15. Iron Golem. This thing used to be squishy, but now it really is not. 300 HP, 25 armor class, and it hits twice for 50 damage each. But I can beat it. There we go. Yep. That's how strong I am, that I can tap something like that without taking a lot of damage. Oh, you know what? Another really concerning thing for this character would be to be surrounded by multiple enemies who can cast Iron Shot or Crystal Spear, because those are like some of the few sources of extreme damage output that the game can throw at me. Do I even want to open that? It has a scroll of blinking. I think I do, just because it has a scroll of blinking. Oh, Juggernaut Simulacrum. Oh, 2 Juggernaut Simulacrum. Maybe I shouldn't have opened this. If I die here, it would be funny. Just because I thought that it was okay. But then 2 Juggernaut Simulacra turned out to be fine, yeah. As long as there's no more Juggernaut Simulacra, then we should be okay. Man, this ghost is pretty strong, but it's a melee ghost. We have not seen a lot of mage ghosts. Personally, I think that mages are in a bad spot. Because there's been a lot of situations, especially in the crawl mid game, where I have run into serious issues with this character, and I think that in every one of those situations, if I had been playing a mage, I would have died, like straight up, just died. Like for example, you remember when I got surrounded by Bashnia and a bunch of Nagas in Snake? I think that I would have died in that situation as a mage, like unavoidable death. So I guess that's why I haven't seen a lot of mage ghosts, because people are not playing mages. I made this coffee 3 hours ago, but I heard that not so hot coffee is actually better than extremely hot coffee, because if it's very hot, you miss a lot of notes in the flavor. And I think so. I think that's actually the case. I still wish I had finished it before starting stream, but it was already getting kinda late and I didn't want to let it get too late, because it's something that happens to me usually, is that I feel like, oh, it's too late. I should probably just not do something. Like sometimes when I want to go out, if I don't get ready before 2 p.m., I'm just like, oh, but it's already too late. Like I'm gonna go to Mexico City and it's gonna be like 3 p.m. and then I'm gonna do my things for like 4 hours and it's gonna be 7 p.m. and I'm gonna want to go back, and it's just not enough time as opposed to like getting ready at 8 a.m. or so and being already in Mexico City at 9 a.m. If I do it like that and I go back home at 7 p.m., it's a lot more time, so I feel like it's a lot more value. So yeah, usually when I am not ready beyond a certain time, I don't want to do something, and that same thing happens with me and streams. But anyway, we're in the Abyss, and as you can see, a lot of things here are hated by the Shining One, so I get piety from killing them. Which means that if I want to use a lot of abilities, it's not gonna be a terrible thing. I would do Bolts 5, but I don't really like it because of that thing that I mentioned earlier, It's the kind of place where you're really seriously punished for making one small mistake a couple of turns ago that you don't notice. So I don't wanna go there to die. Um, I don't really need that kind of negativity in my life right now, and I'm also looking forward to streaking, so there's that as well. This character could have gone Jiva, because I found a Jiva altar at the end of Lure, and the Shining One doesn't get mad if you go Jiva. Only Sin gets mad if you go Jiva. Jiva is not evil, so you can actually switch between the Shining One and Jiva. The Shining One will be okay, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go for the Armataur of the Shining One. By the way, if anyone wants to try this thing where they play a character that based on the splash art that they get whenever they're loading the game, um, you can do it. Like, feel free to do it. It's perfectly fine. Might be an interesting thing to do for content creators if they are not sure of what kind of character they want to play. Um, Acquirement. The barding is bad. The Brodax would be good if it wasn't +0. I guess I'll get the manual of evocations. Chances are good that I'm not gonna train a lot of it, but I guess I can turn it on. See how long or how much experience I can get for evocations. My guess is that it's gonna end at 17, maybe 16. I'm at 10, right? No, I'm at 12. Maybe 18. Maybe we can make it to 18. 6%, and it still confuses me. You know, it says 6%, but what it doesn't say is that it will try to confuse you pretty much every time that it can do anything. So that's why even with really low chances of confusing you, it still confuses you on a rather consistent basis. Um, yeah, the Abyss is pretty easy as a worshipper of the Shining One. But I really want my rune. Come on. I've been waiting for a good amount of time already. Give me my rune. So Nekosek gave me -2 intelligence, which really doesn't matter at all. It also gave me regen, so now I have 3 sources of regen. As soon as I don't see, well, as soon as I'm not sick, I suppose. Yeah, I have a ton of regen. 3 regen per turn, 3 HP per turn. It's a lot of HP, taking into account that I also have 50 HP and great resistances. Oh man, this is not particularly challenging or anything. There's some characters that I have that are like pretty powerful and still run into some issues here, but not this one. Very clearly not this one. Careful with that, Nekosek. My mutations are perfect. I don't want it to mess with my mutations anymore. I wonder if there's a way to disable the warning for whenever you're entering the abyss. Um, because, like, I thought about it a bit, but I think it's very unlikely that I'll ever be in a situation where I'm like, oh, I accidentally pressed go into the abyss accidentally. Like, I accidentally stepped on that tile and pressed the specific button that makes me enter the abyss. It's just a bit too many bad things to happen for me to think that I'm gonna do it accidentally. So I would like to disable that warning, but I don't know if you can do it. I found so many exits, but no runes. One of these days I'm gonna find the rune. Oh, rune light. 2 rune lights. Wait, that's the rune, isn't it? Huh, it's just sitting right there. It might be a mimic. Oh, I see. Yeah, I understand now. It was a mimic. Okay, easy to kill those guys. And that's the rune. Unfortunately for these guys, I am a character, I'm a worshipper of the Shining One. Yeah, sorry for you guys, but I'm a worshipper of the Shining One. There we go, easy peasy. What else do we have here? Oh, it's literally just a bunch of worthless items that make it seem like it's a bunch of maybe interesting items in console. Let's see if we can find the exit now that I have the rune. Got tormented a bit too much in that bolt. Oh, there's an exit. Okay, let me get out. Now that I have 3 runes, all that's left to do is to go do SOT. Yeah. How's my manual looking? Yeah, okay. This character didn't find Lightning Rod. That's not good because I have 18 evocations. This character would have really enjoyed using Lightning Rod. I have 32 charges of Quicksilver, however, which is pretty nice. Also 37 charges of Mind Burst, 58 paralysis. As I always say, it is really like um, an indicator of the character's power level when it happens to get that much consumable stacks or yeah, that many consumables by the end of the game. Okay. So the thing that's most likely to kill me at this point in the game is that I accidentally don't realize that I'm fighting Tiamat and I just tap as I've been tapping through all of these guys. And then I tap Tiamat and that kills me. It could happen, but with 50 armor class, I don't know, like this character is pretty resilient. Yeah, like I can tap Berserkers and it's okay. Shoutouts to the tower shield that I have, I suppose. At some point, I ditched the fully enchanted barding, and I replaced it with the barding of fire resistance because it was +2 versus +4. So like I'm okay sacrificing 2 armor class for fire resistance, especially when going into SOT. And especially when I have so much armor class already, you know? I think the fire resistance does more than a little bit more armor class at that point. The consensus among a lot of the community is actually the other way around, that armor class is king and the other things are secondary, but I prefer having like if I can have 3 pips of fire resistance going into SOT versus Orbs of Fire, I'm gonna try to get that, even if I'm sacrificing a little bit of armor class. Not a lot of armor class, like it doesn't make sense to sacrifice 10 armor class to go from 2 pips of fire resistance to 3 pips of fire resistance. But if it's only 2, I can easily do that, that's fine. Yeah, Draconian and Deep Elf Annihilators and Draconian Annihilators should have that hex that vitrifies you. I think it would be very funny if they had that. I have 4 magic mapping. Yeah, I can use one now. Okay, I got sloth. I don't have mana. Do I have a potion of mana? Because this would be an okay moment to use a potion of mana. I do have 4. There we go. Alright. Not gonna lie, that curse though was kinda scary. Am I in some sort of bolt that places a curse though, or is that just like random generation? I think it was random generation. I'm glad that the fight didn't start with that guy because it could have been complicated. Double torment in that position would have been rough. Was it actually random generation? Because there's another one here and these are not common enemies. Maybe that's a bolt that places curse those. In fact, I'm leaning towards believing that it is the case because look at the level layout. It's like everywhere else is so kinda symmetric, but you know what I mean. It's not exactly symmetric, but it is symmetric, and there's this outlier. There's that, and there's nothing like that on the other side. So it was probably a ball that places two curse toes. Should have maybe fought that with the Evening Star, but whatever. Brodax is good enough, very clearly. Excellent character. I have the chance to end this in under 3 hours. Yeah, I think that I would have been able to end it faster if I was not so slow at the beginning. Not that it matters, of course. And if the Abyss had been a bit more benevolent. Oh, I didn't do the previous level. Yeah, that's fine. I think that I'm just gonna skip it. Yeah, perfectly doable, the skip. I just want to clear this so that I don't run into issues in the orb run. It feels to me like the Brodax was killing things faster, not gonna lie. Yeah, let's try going back to the Brodax. I think that I was feeling like I was killing things faster because I was getting surrounded frequently. Let me exclude the other upstairs. Yeah, those are not the ones that I want to take. This is completely unnecessary, by the way, but I have the charges, so whatever. Oh man, no, this is fine, this is fine. Alrighty. Final level of the game. Got a really busted character. Revelation to see the trap layout. Let's see what we got. Oh, you know what? The other day I found out, like 2 weeks ago when I last was here, I it's a pretty good thing to do to read the scroll of revelation like right next to the vault, so you can see like maybe there's like 6 orbs of fire that you see on one side and nothing on the other one. Yeah, but I'm not gonna do it. I would do it if I had more. I only have one, so I'm just gonna go in blind and it should be okay. Lots of storm dragons, but luckily I got the resistance. I only have one source of the resistance in the whole game, and it's this ring of resistance to electricity. It's a pretty great ring. It has the very desirable resistance, has a bit of armor class, and a bit of strength. Yeah, great ring overall, because a ring with 3 good properties makes a great ring, as opposed to a ring with 1 great property and 1 bad property that's most likely to be bad than it is to be good. More likely for it to be bad than it is for it to be good, is what I mean. Haste and might. And also enlightenment, because why not? And also divine shield and an angel. I can probably do this in one go as I would if I was a worshipper of Wujian. You know, Wujian worshippers with Heavenly Storm can do SOT 5 very easily. It's pretty obscene how strong they can be. Minus potion should be okay. Oof, that's a lot of orbs of fire. I'm glad that I have 3 pips of the resistance. Yep, 3 pips of fire resistance. I should have also drank resistance, just to avoid any corrosion accidents. So Armataur has this thing where the potions last for double the amount of time, which is pretty good for fights like these. I'm held in a net. I have 7 blinkings. I'm just gonna... No, I'm just gonna... Like... Am I seriously gonna save blinkings in SOT 5? I think that I would rather just go over here. Fogu would be nice here. Am I... Why... Who is tap dancing on a net trap? Okay, gotta get rid of the net trap, like remove it from my line of sight. My slow ran out, or like my haste ran out. Let's do it again. I'm thinking that I should Cleansing Flame. Yeah, Cleansing Flame kills the Death Cop, which was something that I really was interested in doing. It also damages everything else. Pretty good. Don't have enough mana, but I have potions of mana. It's the final fight after all. There we go. How many orbs of fire was that at the same time? That went very well. Minus potion. You block the crystal spear. Oh man, that's such a good message. Ran out of the Shining One shield, which was the whole reason why I was blocking that. Look at that. I got a lot of bad mutations, but I still retain the regen, funnily enough. I wonder if it's difficult for mutators to get rid of that specific mutation or something. I got frail, but you know, I'm really robust, so it doesn't really matter that much. I still would like to get rid of it because it's frail. This character was anything but frail in the entirety of the playthrough, and I think this final fight is the perfect example for that. I got Berserkitis. Oh, I hate that. That I do want to get rid of immediately. I got Robust. And I lost my my regen, but it's fine. Oh, I'm getting double effect from the potion mutation. Yeah, this is fine. "27 armor. For a good amount of time, and I've mentioned this before, no one had ever died with 27 armor title, the Invulnerable. It's great that I got that title on this character because it very much defines this character beyond a certain point in the game. It's crazy. Like literally the hardest part of the game was surviving Snake. I survived Snake and now it's gonna take a really major mess up for me to die. It's unlikely for it to happen. Yeah, you saw how recklessly I fought in SOT 5. Sometimes I wonder how the pathing works. Um, if it if it ignores hatches, and if it calculates the entire amount of tiles that you are going to traverse from the point where you are in to the point where you want to be, and it just gives you the better route. I wonder if it works like that. Because the reason why I wonder is because sometimes I see auto travel ignoring ignoring hatches and stuff when it could easily go through them, or ignoring stairs. I wonder if it only takes stairs that you explored and hatches and that kind of thing. Easy to kill. In fact, I am a bit more concerned about the Cacodemon because of the mutations. Yeah, easy to kill. Lots of armor class is really not a concern for this character. My damage rating is 55, but I have Holy Wrath, so it's a lot more than that. Hours and 56 minutes. Maybe I can make it in under 3 hours. You know, just a little bit of tournament practice. Sometimes I feel like it's more comfortable manually exploring than typing OD0. Yeah, look at these stairs. Been getting some pretty good luck. Well, not really good luck, but I guess good level generation with them for the express purpose of making it back to D0 before the time runs out. I should also stop fighting if I really want to get out soon or fast. Okay, it is done. Just a celebratory potion imitation. Sweet. Let's get out of here. Two hours, 57 minutes and 52 seconds. Not bad at all. Yeah, enjoyable. And a streak of 2. It was the only character that I played today. First try. Fantastic. I hope that the next time I play Crawl, which I still don't know when it's gonna be, I have a character that's like this. Um, Whenever possible, I think that I should go Jiba. Like, whenever I'm given the option to go Jiba, I should just go Jiba because I attribute the success of my previous character to the fact that it could go Bolt's first rune. Or, like, not Bolt's first rune, but, like, it could get the experience from Bolt's without doing Bolt's 5 and without doing the other parts of the game because, you know, it's pretty awful to do the other parts of the game. Um, the other parts of the game that you're locked into doing at that point. I mean, you know, elf, or the lair branches. All of those are pretty bad. Bolts is not so bad in comparison. But yeah, not much else to say. I kinda want to stream other things, but I at the same time don't want to stream other things. Because I don't really have much to say whenever I'm streaming other things. So yeah, I just think that Crawl is like the perfect game literally for streaming. Rift Wizard is also okay. I don't feel like I have to mention Rift Wizard that much, but I do take it for granted, I suppose. When it comes to games that I can stream, it's always Rift Wizard and Crawl, but adding other games to that list feels like a titanic endeavor. Um, yeah. Anyway, I will come back at a later date and I will play more Crawl or Rift Wizard or whatever at a later date. But most likely it's gonna be Crawl or Rift Wizard. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for everything. See you around. Have a nice rest of your night.